Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today I'm joined by the brilliant Rebecca Smith, founder of Box Solution, as we take a walk through a sun-soaked Bowness at the height of tourist season. It's July, it's buzzing, and we're diving deep into a range of fascinating topics. As a working mum balancing business and childcare, Rebecca shares what it's like navigating life with her 4-year-old, whilst helping businesses define their long-term strategies. We talk about her transition from pharmaceutical sales into entrepreneurship and the challenges and empowerment that comes from leaving behind the safety net of a large corporation. Rebecca talks about making sole traders feel less alone and how inclusivity can transform a business by valuing everyone's input. So grab your trainers and join us for this walk through beautiful Bowness as we unpack life, business, and everything in between. You won't want to miss it. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the sun yesterday?
Yes, I did enjoy the sun. Yeah.
What did you do?
So, I've been away for the weekend.
Yeah.
Been up at Sizing in the camp van, and then came back a little bit early yesterday.
Yeah.
Because Lewis had a little 4 and 5-year-old birthday party to
Oh,
go to.
cute.
Very cute. 2 little girls.
Yeah.
So it was all sort of the opposite of him. So it was all like pink and like frilly stuff and little unicorns and rainbows. Although he does really like rainbows, actually. Like that. So it was really cute.
Yeah. Very nice.
They did quite a bit of running around outside in the sun and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And how's your week looking?
Well, it's I was going to say it's half term. It's not half term. It's summer holidays.
The big one.
Summer holidays.
Yeah.
So, but he's at summer camp this week.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, cute.
I know. So, but it's like a sports summer camp.
Did you say he's 4?
So he's 4.
Yeah.
So little Lewis is 4 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just full of energy. So I thought that would be a good thing for him. Because a sports camp, like
wear him out.
It's just on the field. Yeah, wear him out. It's on the field. So it's in where I live. So he knows the area.
Yeah.
And it's the PE teacher runs it. It's
cool.
PE teacher,
Oh, that's really nice.
So it's all going to be like playing football and balls, sports and outside stuff and just tiring him out, I think.
That's really nice, these teachers doing it.
Yeah, there's some kids from his school there, so...
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I've got obviously work this week.
Let's just wait for this car to go past. Yeah. Oh, so you've actually got time to do some stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to do some, trying to get some website stuff done.
Oh, okay.
So getting some content written for my website. And then actually making the changes, so it's nice to be able to like update. Yeah. Focus on that, update that. And then get out and see a couple of clients later in the week.
Good. Amazing.
Yeah.
Are these new clients?
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of people that I've been trying to get to see for a while.
Yeah.
And, obviously diaries don't always align, do they?
No.
So this is kind of the first time I've been able to go and talk to them.
So what is your business?
So I help other businesses work out what their long-term strategy for growth is. So we kind of look at their business, look at where they are at the moment, we look at where they want to get to, and then we start plotting. Yeah. how they get there.
So kind of work back from the goal.
Yeah. Cool. And it's sort of been built up over kind of lots of years of experience of my own.
Yeah.
Looking at all the different sort of standard models that people might use.
Yeah.
So I've kind of built it all into a program that's like really easily accessible.
Yeah.
Like it's just a nice process that they go through. You don't have to really worry about anything too much. They just follow my process.
Right.
Think about the things I'm asking them to think about.
Right.
Answer the questions that I ask them as they work through it.
Yeah.
And then from that we can kind of build up their perfect step-by-step strategy for what they need to do over the next sort of 3 years, really.
And how did you get to this point of setting up this business?
Well, I suppose it's quite a long story, I guess, when you look back. But I guess, I started off working in pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
As a sales rep for MSD, big pharmaceutical company.
Right.
It's really corporate. But I learned so much about kind of working with people and what makes people tick and that kind of stuff. But sales, really.
Yeah.
Different ways to sell.
Yeah.
Then I got into working for an SME.
Okay.
Worked my way up there. Again, really focusing on like people management.
Yeah.
And I guess got to senior management level.
Yeah.
Again, it's all about working with people.
Yeah.
But it became a lot more about the strategy then. It became more about, how are we going to, the strategic elements of it. How are we going to overcome competitors? How do we keep people motivated? All that kind of stuff. And obviously, because that was quite a big business, I'd always worked in like bigger organisations. Yeah. I kind of felt like I wanted to do something for smaller businesses.
Okay.
And I wanted to take everything that I'd learned over like all the years of being in business and put it into some sort of a format that could help sole traders.
Right.
Or, micro business owners, but the smaller businesses,
Yeah.
So that's what I've done, really.
Yeah. That's amazing. And how did it feel to make that decision that you were going to take the step and do your own thing?
Gosh, yeah. There's a lot of emotion attached to that.
Yeah. Scary.
Very scary, yeah. It's so scary to step out on your own. I think I've always worked within teams of people.
Yeah.
I've always worked in big organisations where there's like tons of people around you that you can lean on for support.
Yeah.
So when you sort of step out on your own and it is just you, it's like, oh my God.
It's your name on the tin.
Yeah. But it's the fact that I think one of the things I struggled with in the early days was that I felt like I was on, like I was on all the time.
Yeah.
Every time I'm talking to somebody, I'm almost feeling like I've got to sell my thing.
Right.
And it's just exhausting. And sometimes you don't always want to be selling to everybody.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to find people that are going to support you. And it's not like a sales interaction. It can just be, can we just kind of help each other out a bit?
Yeah.
Because when I first started, I was kind of, it wasn't just sole traders. Mm-hmm. I was kind of focusing on bigger organisations because that's kind of been what I was used to.
Yeah.
But then I kind of very quickly was like, actually, no, I'm a sole trader.
Yeah.
And I can take this stuff that I've learned, that I've been doing with bigger organisations, and I can help the smaller businesses. Yeah. And it felt more like not nourishing, but it felt more like fulfilling, yeah. Because these are the businesses that really need it,
Yeah, and I guess you could also practice what you're selling in your own business.
Yeah, and things that I know I've needed. Yeah. Again, as things have progressed, as I've developed the programme further, I've added in things that well, I need that. Yeah. I need to do that. Yeah. So my clients are going to need to do that. Yeah. And I guess I really understand where they're coming from. Yeah. Because a lot of the journey they're going through, I'm going through it as well. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the feelings and the emotions that they're going through, I know what that's like. Yeah, definitely resonate with you. Yeah, that's awesome. But I suppose that's my big why, really. It's that I want to help sole traders feel less alone.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's my thing, everything I do is to try and make another sole trader feel a bit less alone.
Yeah.
So something I do today at work. Yeah. I might not make a sale, somebody might not spend any money with me, but I'll do something today to help another sole trader feel a bit less alone. Yeah. So that's a win for me.
Yeah. And it is a lonely space, isn't it? It can feel quite isolating and what am I doing? Yeah. Why am I doing this?
Because
I could have just stayed employed.
Yeah. I think that's the easiest option. Yeah. It's always the easiest option just to go and get a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the easiest
thing. But it's also
it?
A good fallback plan, isn't it? Because you do have the skills and the experience to be able to do that.
I don't know, I think I'm pretty unemployable now.
Yeah, I know a few entrepreneurs who would say that. It'll be quite hard to take instruction again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just, I've grown myself I've grown so much in confidence as well. Yeah. That I think when I think back to some of the things that I tolerated, and some of the things that I just didn't do anything about, I think if those things, if I was in an employed position and those things happened now, there's no way I would just sit and just not say anything.
And I think a lot of that is fear factor, isn't it? Because they're paying us a salary, and should we stand up to them? But actually,
oh my God, what if I get fired?
Yeah, exactly. But there's something to be said about if we don't say something, it'll happen to the next person.
And
it
also,
never changes.
If someone's gonna try and fire me, for speaking my mind, or for standing up for something I don't think is right, or just for pushing back and giving a different opinion,
are they the right fit?
Exactly. Like, is that somewhere you want to work anyway?
I agree. This is interesting though, isn't it? I think to take on the entrepreneurial flag, if you like, you do need to have certain intrinsic characteristics. It's not something everyone can do, is it?
Not successfully.
Not with everyone can give it a go. Of course.
And I mean, it wasn't, I guess for me, it wasn't, without going too much into the detail, it wasn't necessarily a purposeful decision.
Right.
It's not like one day I thought, right, I'm gonna go and set my own business up now, and this is what I'm gonna do. I was put in a position, and I had to make the best of it. And so that's kind of the choice that I made, is that I can either dwell on things that have happened and get really upset about it and go into the whole blame and, do you know what I mean, that negative cycle, or I can say, right, let's do something positive with this. Let's
see it as an opportunity.
And so then, as soon as I could kind of reframe things a little bit in my head, and was like, that's what I'm going to do. And then I started doing, like, okay, so what do I know? What can I do? What am I good at? And I did that whole bit of work where you marry up the things that you're good at, the things that you enjoy, the things that you want to do. And then you try and find a place where that stuff is valued and somebody wants to pay for that. Which is kind of, and then that's how, Box came about. That's what I did. And at the beginning, it wasn't exactly what it is now. It was, as I said, it was kind of focusing on support, going into businesses, and working with the entire, like, I'm really big on inclusivity.
Okay.
I feel like when we do things like business planning and strategy and growth and that kind of stuff, it can be with everyone in the business. It doesn't have to just be the managing director or the CEO, whatever the top person is, and the senior team. Like, why not ask all of the people that work there? Like, what do you think? What are you struggling with? What opportunities do you see? That kind of stuff. Let's get them involved in it. And I did a lot of that in the early days. I did a lot of that sort of stuff, and that was really good because people would always report that they got good buy-in, they got good results because the people were part of the process and the decision making,
taking everyone on the journey.
And I still do a bit of that now, but as I said, as things developed, like, then my why became much more that, I want to help sole traders feel a bit less alone, because that's what I was, and that's a lot of the business connections I was meeting. I was meeting loads of sole traders and micro business owners, and they were all saying the same stuff. They're all struggling with the same stuff, even though they were doing different things in their business. And so then I was like, right, well, this is what I need to do. I need to do something for these people. I need to help them take the big business strategy, the big business models, all that kind of stuff, the big business thinking that's really accessible for bigger organisations. And they need to make it in some sort of a format that they can find, that they can follow, that they can make use of, that they can. It's accessible, isn't it? It's simple and easy for them to follow. And then that's what I've done. So, and then it's built from there, really.
Cool. And how many years have you been going now?
So I'm in my third year now.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And do you feel as each year passes, you're sort of learning from the previous year and evolving things? And
definitely, it's being built on literally day by day. I think the biggest thing for me now, that's different from right at the beginning, was I don't always know what the challenges are going to be that are coming around the corner, but every day that goes by, I trust myself a bit more that I will take the action I need to take. Do you know what I mean? I trust myself.
It's very much a personal journey, personal growth journey as well, isn't it?
It's learning that resilience, that just trust yourself and back yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to back yourself. And as I said, I don't always know what the answer is straight away, but I know that, or I feel like I can trust, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So it must look, your business must look quite different now to what it did 3 years ago.
Yeah. So now I'm working with, the main thing that I do, it's a group program. And for sole traders. And right in the beginning, it was working with still small organisations, but working with all of the people in the business and going in working one-on-one with that business. So it's kind of, it is really different, but actually the main principles are exactly the same.
Right.
And the process that we go through, although how I deliver it is a bit different, I'm still doing the same process with the group of sole traders that I'm working with, that I did with, a business with 30 people in it, that I'm working over the space of a few months to help them develop their strategy. It's the same steps.
So it's kind of empowering those people, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And again, especially when you're working within an organisation where you're getting everybody involved, it's like making, so you go into an organisation and they've always had every decision made for them. They've always been told exactly what to do. And then you go and you go, okay, well, what do you think? Like, what do you find challenging about your job? What opportunities can you see? Like, people that are actually doing the work. Like, what's going on for you? And you ask them. And so, what would you do then? What strategy would you employ? Like, all those sorts of questions. They're like, oh my God, you're asking me? Like, we want to know what you think. And they always come up with stuff that, like, the MD would never have thought about because they're just not
close enough.
They're just not close enough. And they always come up with ideas or that no one else has thought of, or they come up with or they'll tell you about a challenge they're facing that you didn't know about. And then you can work with them and say, okay, well, we can do something about this now. Now we know, we can try and improve that or make it better, or
That's really good, because that's it's empowering at all levels, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I feel really strongly about. And that's like when I said about inclusivity. I mean, inclusivity on every single level. So inclusivity in terms of every type of diversity, but also people that have just joined the business. People that have been there for a long time. They've got equally as important stuff to say. People that are really young in the business. They've got some really cool stuff to say. People have been there for years and years. Have got, it doesn't matter who you are in the business. There's just so much that you can get when you open the door for people to contribute and to get involved.
And I can see why you get the buy-in then, because everyone's invested. Because they're valued. Their contribution is valued.
And it is. It's about that value, isn't it? Because if it's just there's a senior team and you make all the decisions and you never talk to anybody else. Like, are you that arrogant that you think that you have every answer? Actually, you can ask the people, go and talk to them. Like, why not get them involved? Why not open it out? And then sometimes people will say things like, oh yeah, but I don't really want them to make all the decisions. I don't really want to open it out. Like, what if they say to do something I don't want to do? You don't have to do everything that they say.
At least you have the awareness.
But just ask them. And there'll be a couple. I bet there's always been a couple of things. So yeah,
exactly. You don't have to take everything on board just because you're bringing everyone on the journey, but at least people feel heard. Their contributions are received, and then you can sort of say yes and no by intention.
Yeah, exactly. And I think nobody, when you're doing that sort of work, when you're opening the doors out for people to contribute, I don't think any of them would be expecting you to take everything that everybody says and build that into a strategy, because you can't. They know that. But you can promise that you'll listen, like with an open heart, properly listen to what they're saying and consider it. And of course some things are going to be like, well, that's not feasible, we can't accommodate that, we can't do that for whatever reason. But you can at least consider it and see what options come up, basically.
Definitely. And so how do you like to leave a business, like when it comes to the end of what you're doing?
So when I leave a business, at the very least, they will have a really thoroughly considered step-by-step plan of what they need to do, what actions they need to take, what tasks need to be done for them to grow their business towards the vision that we set right at the beginning.
Okay.
And that's like, from a practical side of it, that's the big thing that they need to walk away with.
Yeah.
And that's what they always get left with, is that, you know, it's a detailed plan.
Yeah.
But it's also one that I always say it's a plan that you can feel confident in, because we've done all this pre-work of like, you know, considering all these different things and brainstorming all of the ideas and thinking about as many different things as they can, and then whittling it down through a process to get to the, like, these are the core things, these are the critical things. Yeah. But I feel confident these are the right things because I've done this big consideration piece. Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah. And so what does that look like in real terms? Is it like a pile of documents and spreadsheets and diagrams?
Well, what they have is the 3-year plan is like a 1-page document. It's not. There's no like 20-page business plans or anything like that.
Nothing overwhelming.
Nothing overwhelming. They have a 1-page plan that sort of summarises the next 3 years that they can use as like their guiding, like, principles, the guiding plan of like what's going to happen over the next 3 years. Yeah. And then the next 12 months is in an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. Lots of companies I work with have got like different software they might want to use. There's all sorts of different software.
They can pull spreadsheets into that though,
and they can, so we just use it, you know, so that they can, and some of them will just keep it as a spreadsheet, some of them will put it into like a, you know, project management bit of whatever that, you know, whichever sort of
tools that they
whatever
have.
tools they want to use. So they'll have a spreadsheet with the next 12 months on it, and they'll have like a scorecard that they can use to like track their progress.
And do you then sort of have a support plan on the back of that, or do you loop back around just to check in to see how they're doing, or do you kind of step away and leave them to it? And
it's totally up to them with what they want, really. So some businesses just want some support creating that plan. So that might be all they need, and that's fine. They can do that, and then they can just get on with implementing it themselves. Or if they want more support and they do want like some accountability, they can, once they've done that part of the program, I do like weekly group sessions. They can stay part of the weekly group sessions if they want that. That's quite a lot about mindset, you know, overcoming blocks, I suppose, in terms of, we talk about things like stress management, time management, resilience, that kind of stuff.
So you is one of your goals to kind of build a community?
Because that's what they get from the weekly. When they're part of the program, they come to the weekly sessions. They're the group sessions, and they're all business owners that have either done the strategy program, that have gone through that process of building their strategy with me, or that are currently doing it. So that's only open to people that have kind of done that, so that they all understand like the concept of it all. Otherwise, I'd just be repeating myself all the time. So it just means that we can focus on different stuff. We can focus on that mindset stuff. So it's all those sorts of people, and because it's only a small group, it's not massive. It just means that they get to know each other really well. And there's always quite a lot of like cross sales going on. It's not intentional or promoted. It's just, if you spend,
it naturally happens.
If you spend 8 weeks like on a weekly session with somebody, and you know there's a bookkeeper in there, and you need a bookkeeper, like that's, you've got to,
it's bound to happen, isn't it?
So that's great, and I try to make sure that I'm not, again, I don't know, it might change in the future, but I'm trying not to make it so that I'm just targeting bookkeepers, for example. Because then, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure that when I take new clients on, they come as part of the group program. That the thing that their business does is like complementary to other people there. So we try and do that. As I said, it might change as things go on, but that's kind of how it goes. But they can also, if they want one-to-one support, they can also continue working with me on a one-to-one basis. Do, carry on doing some coaching and accountability and that kind of stuff as well. But I try and make it so that it's like a really nice, cost-effective thing that stands on its own. And then if you want to do more stuff, then we can. There's loads of more things that we can do. But I didn't want it to be like you have to like spend megabucks to.
Do you know
what I mean?
That's part of the accessibility thing, isn't it? Especially for sole traders, it's really important. And so I can see from when you're talking, your energy really lifts when you talk about your clients, and you're like really glowing, which is really nice. So you're obviously enjoying what you're doing.
It is genuine. It's so genuine.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I get to know these people really well.
Yeah.
They talk to me about all of their like deepest, darkest stuff that's going on. And like
spill the tea.
Yeah. And when they come back and say, "Oh, that session really helped," because of like whatever reason, it's just that literally that's the best thing that ever happens in my business. If someone says that, and I'm just like,
that's so nice
to know that I like helped improve someone's day or help their business, or that's the good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think part of that sort of satisfaction is actually you are genuinely impacting someone's life.
Yeah, because I'm showing them a way to literally make their plan of how they're going to achieve their dreams, basically.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Or sometimes it's like, actually, your dreams in that time frame are really unachievable, but we can get here. Yeah, and it's just making it so that they can, they can actually do that. They can make progress. They can get somewhere.
Yeah, what? I think that's really great. What challenges have you faced? Like, what's your biggest challenge you've faced so far?
I suppose me. Yeah. I'm my biggest challenge.
Well, I do feel like personal growth and personal critiquing is so important in this, but we're in a kind, careful way, because obviously transitioning from employed to sole trading, you have to shift the way you behave and think quite a lot.
You do. And I think that's part of being a sole trader as well, is that you haven't got anyone else there usually to be like, come on, snap out of it, or just sort of like balance your own opinion, I guess. So it's always, you're just always in your head so much, aren't you? And I think that's part of that is to be expected. You're not going to be able to get away from that. Yeah. But I think that's, I've over these few years of running my own business, I have sought out help. Yeah. I've paid for quite a lot of help where I've needed it.
And what does that look like in terms?
So when I first started, when I had no money, I'd not made a sale yet. I'd not done anything. Yeah, I paid out for a one-to-one business coach to support me, which was invaluable. Yeah,
and just on that, sorry to interrupt, on that coaching point, that's so important, isn't it? To have a mentor, have a coach, have some guidance. Have that person to bounce back off who is objective, who you're not related to, who's not your friend.
All of that, yeah. And that was invaluable, and that's some of the best money I've ever spent. She literally kept me on the straight and narrow. Yeah. I had a session with her every week for 6 months.
Yeah, wow.
And it was just, sometimes it was like talking about how, business decisions that I was having to make and being able to talk them through with somebody. And other times it was just her helping me stop beating myself up and getting in my head and telling all the negative talk, telling myself that I couldn't do it, and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. If I didn't have her asking me, is that true though, Rebecca? Yeah. And me going, well, all right, no, it's not true, is it? Yeah. No, it's not. But if you didn't have someone asking you that stuff, like I would just go down that rabbit hole of thinking that I couldn't do it. And I don't know if I would still be here.
Yeah, that's powerful.
So I have, there's stuff like that I've paid for. Yeah. I still pay for stuff now. Yeah. But I think also, when I first,
oh, hang on one sec. You can tell it's a school holiday, so.
School's out.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I do, and I always have done lots and lots of face-to-face networking. Mm-hmm. And obviously the goal of that is I want to meet potential clients. But I think really early on I realised that every time I go to a networking event, I'm not always going to meet a potential client. And it shouldn't. That shouldn't necessarily be the goal either. No. And there's a few women in particular that I met quite early on that, I don't know, maybe they will one day be clients, I don't know, but that was never the relationship. Yeah. It was always like, we're just in business, struggling with the same stuff, let's just support each other. And they've become really good, like sort of almost like colleagues, where you can just, I've got that little group of women that I can just ring up and say, I'm having a really bad day today. Yeah. And I can just get some support. And I know I'm there for them. I'll be their biggest cheerleader. I'll big them up and just try and support them through that journey, because that's what they've done for me.
Yeah, that's
and
really
I think that's really, really important.
It is, yeah. I think it's important too, because we are not islands.
No.
And we do need people. Yeah. And as much as we are capable, we still need that support and coaching.
Yeah.
So what was the next thing you were going to say before I interrupted you?
Yeah, and then I suppose the other thing in terms of challenges is, like, I'm a single mum, got a little 4-year-old, but when I started my business, he was like 2.
Right. Yeah, really tough.
So when you're looking at, from a financial point of view, when you just start your business, you don't really know what you're doing. I mean, most businesses,
overwhelm.
Yeah, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of financial worry, because most businesses don't start with tons of sales coming in.
Yeah.
You usually, not everybody, some people start off with a nice little bump of sales, but usually it takes a bit of time for you to figure out what you're doing and get some sales in. Yeah. And so, as a single parent, when you're having to pay quite a lot of childcare to be able to go and in those early days not earning any money, I've got to, that's frightening.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's probably the biggest factor that has affected my ability to keep going.
Yeah.
Is like, should I just go and get a job where I get paid every month? Yeah, it's not going to be as fulfilling, and it's not going to
take the hit.
Yeah. But I think,
but equally, is it also the reason that keeps you going?
It is absolutely that, because it absolutely fits around my lifestyle, and that's the big factor for me. Is that I can just be like, well, the sports day, well, I'm going to go to sports day. I just don't. I'm not going to plan anything around that time.
Yeah.
And like this week, for example, it's the school holidays.
Yeah.
And so I've only got cover 9 till 3 instead of normally when he's up at preschool, it's 8 till 6 o'clock really.
Yeah.
So, but that's fine. Well, I just have to, I won't earn as much over the summer because I'm not going to be able to work as much. But I can put him first, and I can make sure he gets what he needs, and
and also that quality time with your child, isn't it?
Yeah. So this last week that's just gone by, I've not been working.
Yeah.
And we've done loads of cool stuff together.
Yeah.
And it's been lovely to have that proper time with him.
Yeah.
And again, I've been able to enjoy it because I've got 3 weeks over the summer where I've got him in a, he's obviously up at the sports camp this week and next week, and then he's in a nursery.
Cute. I know. Just the thought of a bunch of 4-year-olds at sports camp. It's just too cute.
They are very cute. They are very, very cute.
Yeah.
I've seen his little face this morning when a couple of the other little kids from his class are there as well, and he's like, it's little Aggie and Jake, and it's super cute.
Very cute.
So he'll have a blast.
Yeah.
But that's if I was employed. I mean, I know employers are improving now. Yeah. And I think there is a lot, or there seems to be a lot of change in terms of getting better at flexible working and things like that. But I mean, still, it's tough. It's really hard because, what's the business going to do? Give you 6 weeks off in the summer?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great if they could, but if you could work it some way that they could allow that to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the moment, there's not a lot of businesses offering that.
Yeah.
So, again, as a single parent, you haven't got a lot of other options. No. And you have to put your child first. You have to, they have to come first.
So how do you manage self-care amongst all of that?
It's very difficult.
Yeah. you look really sheepish and guilty.
It's because I know how important it is.
Yeah.
And I don't always do the best job of it.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of the things that my coach said to me. It was maybe a couple of months ago. Mm-hmm. I'd really gone through a difficult bit. I wasn't doing literally I wasn't doing anything for myself. Right. It was just all Lewis and my job. And again, when I was talking about sort of the negative self-talk, it just totally took over.
Oh, really?
And I just didn't want to post on social media anymore. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just and the first thing she said to me, we got on a call, she's like, when was the last time you went for a run, Becky? And I was like, I just knew, straight away, I was like, that's what it is. And it was just, for me, if I'm running, then it's it starts off what's the opposite of a vicious circle? the opposite of a vicious cycle, a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
That if I'm running regularly,
it breaks the cycle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then
you get your endorphins and your
you get your endorphins. You feel a bit better. Then I eat a bit better because I start thinking about myself. I'm an athlete now because I'm running again.
Yeah, I feel like an athlete after my walk yesterday.
Yeah, you should do though. Does it make you, after you've done something like that though? How does it affect you afterwards?
So yesterday was 20 miles, Ullswater Way.
Yeah,
and it was scorching hot, absolutely stunning. I basically, my strategy is to eat my way round because you need the fuel for that sort of distance. So that's part of my excitement for the day before, is how I pack my sandwiches and what I'm taking and what
guilt-free calories.
Yeah, it's just all the little treats to sort of look forward to. And then afterwards, like last night, obviously I was knackered, so I got back about 9:30. But because I'd been organised, I had all my dinner ready.
Yeah.
So I just got that microwaved in my belly, straight to bed. I woke up really fresh this morning.
I was going to say, I bet you had a really good night's sleep.
Yeah, I think it was a passing out unconscious thing. I was like, can't do another step.
But I think that's how you're meant to go to sleep, aren't you? You're meant to, you've worked really hard that day, like physically, but it's been in a positive way, though, hasn't it?
Yeah,
you've just
your mind's not racing.
Exactly. You've just been in the moment. You've enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
You've got your blood pumping and your body moving.
Yeah.
And then you sleep well.
Yeah. So I manage the self-care bit with a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
I love walking. I go to the gym 4 times a week.
That's good. Good on you.
I don't have a child.
Yeah.
So, it's all well and good that I say all this, but I'm very mindful that I'm in a position where I can.
Yeah.
And I don't need to juggle things. So I do get that it is very difficult when you are thinking about someone else.
Yeah,
it's not so easy to weave it into your day.
No, it's not. But that is true. It isn't as easy to weave it into the day. But I also think there is things that I can do.
Right.
And it's the same feeling that stops you going to the gym because you just don't want to go.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Mm-hmm. I'll just blame it on my kid.
Oh, okay.
So I can. All right, it is hard for me to just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to get someone to look after him while I went to the gym.
Yeah.
But I love doing the Insanity DVD workouts.
Oh, okay.
I do still have a DVD player, and I can do them. I don't have to
betray my ages right now.
Probably betraying my age just saying that I do the Insanity workouts.
I used to do the Insanity workout.
I do just think they're so good though.
They are.
But again, I can. There's no excuses why I can't do that.
Yeah.
They're half an hour long.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's a 30 minutes. So I can find time for 30 minutes in the day if I want to.
Thinking about doing it.
I probably could waste 30 minutes thinking about it and talking myself out of it and then into it, then out of it again.
I do that with the gym and then I think, oh my God, I could have been there and back by now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same, we could blame it on different things.
Yeah.
But it's the same.
It is.
Self-sabotage stuff, isn't it?
It is. That's exactly what it is.
So I can do them. I can do them in my living room. I don't have to even go anywhere. He's, if he wakes up, I try and do them in the morning when I'm on it and I'm doing it. I do them in the morning. But if he wakes up, he just comes downstairs. Yeah. And he'll just sit there and either watch me or he'll do it, join in a little bit.
Oh, that's cute.
It is cute.
Yeah.
But
actually that's positive reinforcement of good habits, isn't it?
Yeah. And we do talk quite a lot about trying to be healthy and trying to get him to eat his vegetables at the moment.
Oh, yeah. How's that going?
Well, my strategy for this is just give him a plate full of little bits of all different vegetables all the time.
Uh-huh.
So, and then I don't really worry too much about you have to eat it all or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just let's just always have him in front of lots of different vegetables and they're just always there.
He'll get used to seeing it and
it'll just become the norm and he tries it and he's quite good at trying it and I always just say, just try a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's some that he prefers, but I suppose I want to find out genuinely what vegetables he actually likes, but if I just unless I expose him to as many as I can, I won't know.
Yeah. And are you applying your business strategy process on your child?
I don't know if I've took it that far. I definitely do my own business strategy on my own business.
Yeah.
So I did try a lot of stuff out at the beginning on myself.
Great, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and for over the summer, I've set another. I've got one of the days when it's in the summer camp. I'm going to run through the process again with my business, because again, it's a young business still. Yeah. And it is changing all the time. So, I mean, things are quite different now to what they were 6 months ago. Yeah. So I need to redo things. But again, once you've got that process, you can. And so one of my clients was telling me a couple of weeks ago in one of the group sessions that she'd applied the process that we go through to do your business strategy to some of our smaller projects. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's kind of the point in it. Yeah. You're obviously not going to spend 8 weeks doing it. Yeah. It's you're going to do it quicker. Yeah. You might spend an hour, but you still follow the little loop that we do. Yeah. And it helps you come up with a little plan. It's a framework, isn't it? Yeah. So. Oh, that's fabulous. So maybe I need to. Did that make your heart glow a little bit? Yeah, it did. Yeah. That's a win, isn't it? That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing, when you think about, should I go and get a proper job? Yeah. Proper job, I shouldn't say that. Should I go and get a job being employed? Yeah. Hang on, I wouldn't get that. Oh. I talk too much. No. Oh. Okay, we're okay. No, my phone rang. I was panicked when my phone rings. I was like, oh my God, I was doing another recording. And I was like, oh, my phone's ringing. And does it ring on the recording? I don't think so. So the guy that I was talking to was like, answer it. Like, that's not really the point of recording. Dramas of being live. Yeah, I get that sometimes when I'm doing my the group sessions. Yeah. Like, because, I mean, sometimes the dog barks. But I mean, that's... I can't do a lot about that. No. I suppose also, though... Oh, yeah. It makes people feel a bit comfortable that if their dog barks, like, it's okay. Stuff like that's going to happen, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Obviously, when you go... That's one of the big things that stops me going back to an employed job, is to know that the thing that I've created, that I've put together myself, and gone and pitched out there to the world, is like having a positive impact on someone, and that just feels amazing to know that, like, my little thing that little me, put together, on the back of a difficult time, like, has really helped somebody. Yeah. Yeah, that's an ace, especially to get that feedback to say, actually, we've applied it. Yeah. It tells you that it's been understood and valued. Yeah, and it's working. Adding value. So that's good. Yeah, that is really good. And hopefully, as Lewis grows up, he'll see, like, I want him to see, I don't want him to see me working so hard that we don't have the time together. We kind of need to keep that. Yeah. Keep our time. But I want him to see his mum working really hard. Yeah. To give us a good life, and to know that that's like a good ethic to teach. It's a good thing to teach him that, if you go out there into the world and you give it your all, like work. When I say work hard, I don't mean like hustle, the whole hustle. Yeah, got to work every hour, like 24/7. Yeah, I don't mean that, but just if you've got goals, like go after them, like work hard for them. Yeah, and you can achieve something. That's like a good. Like a good mentality to teach them, I think. Yeah, I agree. And it's leading by example, massively. Yeah. And I think it's good to try and also it's a good vision to have, because it's a good reminder to you to pull back when you feel like you're snowballing. Yeah. And actually you've got your son there to say, hey, I'm here. It's quite hard. Yeah, it's hard to snowball because he will put a stop. Yeah, he will put a stop to it. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but like he's going to need something, and I'm going to need to stop what I'm doing. And I do find that I must admit, I do find that difficult. Do you? Yeah, and I do try and segregate. I don't ever really try and do work when he's there. Right. Because... Yeah, that's good. That's good for you as well, isn't it? Yeah, because if he interrupts me, then I get really stressed. Yeah. And then that's not... then I'm going to be short-tempered with him and irritable and all the rest of it. And I did try in the early days sometimes. I'd be like, somebody would want to do a Zoom with me, on a day when I didn't have any childcare, and I'd be like, oh, maybe I can, put him in front of Peppa Pig, or and it just, sometimes it works. Sometimes, I'm not saying I don't ever do that, because sometimes I do still have to do bits and bobs like that, but I try not to, because it just doesn't work. I just get stressed. He gets stressed. It's just not a good way to do things. No. So I suppose that's part of it as well, isn't it? Learning what to say no to, and to say, no, that's my boundary. Like, I can't do that.
And that is a hard thing to do,
because you feel like you're missing out on stuff, don't you? You feel like, if I say no to this, I don't know, are they ever gonna? Will they come back? You know, will I ever get another opportunity like that? But then I have to then evaluate the fact that, like, Lewis is the most important thing in all of it.
Keep that perspective. So that's good. That's good, and it's good that you're sort of always checking in on yourself and testing where you're at, and is it working? I sound like I'm getting it right all the time. I'm really not, though. No, no, and it's not coming across like that, to be honest. It's coming across as you're just being really honest. Like, this is hard. And I think that's one thing with me. Is that I am just very honest and open. And I mean, my clients say, like, they don't get like this polished, like, on, like, corporate version. I am just there as me. And armed with all the knowledge and experience. And I hope that puts them at ease. I mean, one thing people always say about working with me is that they'll say some like variation on, you made it really easy for me, or like, I think that is just because I'm just coming at it I'm just coming as me, and so you can just be you as well. It's, you know, you can come and tell me you've had a bad day, I'll tell you I've had a bad day. You know, we can just work through these things. You're a bit like J-Lo. I'm just trying to be me. Do what I gotta do.
Do you know what? I am wearing J-Lo's perfume today.
Are you? Maybe that's why she came to me.
Am I channeling a bit of J-Lo? I'll take that all day long. Brilliant.
We all want to channel a bit of J-Lo. She's got the formula, whatever that is.
I keep running. I might look like her one day. I think that's quite unlikely.
Let's go with that.
Well, just that can be the goal. The never achieved goal.
No, that's like putting a negative thing out into the atmosphere. We need to not do that.
That is true. I'm going to channel J-Lo now all day long.
You've changed the way you're walking. You're suddenly a bit straighter.
Shaking my butt. Oh gosh. Oh, there's worse people to channel, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
That's funny.
Still quite a bit. It's a bit cloudy, but it's still quite warm.
I quite like it like this. I struggle with it being. I don't want to tempt anything. I'm really sorry. I don't.
It's
really
on
like,
you if it rains later.
I don't really like the blasting sun.
No,
it's just
I think
a bit
like
much.
25 is my limit. That's my happy place.
I think I'm like around. I mean, I'm like 18, 19, 20. That's my.
Oh, okay. So you're lower. So were you born and brought up in Cumbria?
Pretty much, So my family, my family's all from down south.
Okay.
My dad was from Reading and my mum's from Bedford.
Oh, okay.
And I've got 3 older brothers and they were all born down there.
3 older brothers?
Whoa. Stephen's 13 years older than me. And Michael and Robert are 14 and 16 years older.
Okay.
They were all born down south. They moved up here for a bit. Like, my dad worked at Sellafield.
Right.
So we lived in West Cumbria in St Bees for, I think I was about maybe 14.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that, 13, 14 maybe. When we lived there till about that age. My sister was born up here. She's 3 years younger than me. So me and her are the only proper northerners in our family. Everyone else is southerners. Which we do have a north-south divide in our family.
Do you?
We do, But I lived in West Cumbria until I was about 14. And then we moved to South Lakes.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I've moved around quite a bit. I've lived up in Glasgow for a bit.
Okay.
I've lived down near Wigan for a good lot of years, and then I was in Northampton for a couple of years. So I've left and moved around a little bit and done different things with work and that kind of stuff. But then It's such a lovely place. This is where I've come back to.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. I can't imagine being anywhere else, to be honest.
No.
I love it when I drive back and everything opens up and I just think, I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so lovely.
How about you?
Me, I've been all over the place as well. I grew up in London.
Yeah.
And then moved to the southwest for my first job.
Wow.
So I lived there for about 5 years. Then I moved back to London, but I was north of the river.
Right.
That's a very important divide as well. North or south of the river. And then I've always consulted, so I've always travelled around the country with work.
Yeah.
And and then I ended up in Cumbria. Did a master's in Lancaster.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that was kind of, I was about 28, I think.
Right.
Did a master's. The truth of it is I wanted a year out, but I needed to be productive.
Right. So you did a master's.
So I did a master's.
Love it.
And had some time out.
But your time out is doing a master's.
Yeah. And then, and then I just stayed. Just really enjoyed it. And then it was, also there was a connection with an ex-husband.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out, and I thought, well, I just can't imagine not living here. So
it's such a hard place to leave, isn't it?
It is, and I think that was a good test, really, to confirm that I really love it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have just gone somewhere else, wouldn't you? And that...
Exactly. Yeah, they just packed up and left. But I just feel quite anchored and grounded here. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice feeling to wake up and feel so joyful and at peace.
Yeah. I don't think you do need to be somewhere a bit rural for that, don't you?
Yeah. No, I just really, I mean, it does get crazy hectic with holidays, as you can see.
Yeah.
There's so many people.
But I think when you live somewhere like this, and you know what it's like
you work
in the downtime, And I'm one of those that I don't ever begrudge, like, tourism.
No, I think don't.
It's such a massive part of Cumbria. Like, if we didn't have tourism, if our villages weren't like inundated in the summer, like we wouldn't have half the stuff that we've got. Yeah. So I think you need it, and I know it gets a bit frustrating sometimes with traffic and parking, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I agree with everything you said, and I also kind of like that smugness that I can feel when I think I live here. Yeah, you hear it all the time. Yeah, that is good.
That is quite nice.
And it's the same in Arnside, it's a really, it's a small village, and, there's so many of the shops that we've got there that just wouldn't be there if it wasn't for tourism. But I use and I get the benefit of those places being there all year round. So,
and you get fabulous sunsets, don't you, over there?
Oh, it's so, you really do. Really beautiful.
I think I'd get addicted to that.
Yeah, that I have seen. It's funny because I'm not really a traveller myself. I get a bit anxious about going too far. But my sister's she's been all over the world. She's a massive traveller. Yeah. And she's been literally all over the world. Yeah. Because her favourite place is Bolivia.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Things like Bolivia.
Right.
It's the most beautiful. But then she'll always say that she's been to all these cool places and seen all these beautiful countries. Yeah. But still, there's nothing really that beats some of the views you get in the Lake District. Especially outside sunsets is one of them, which is you get a really good one. Yeah. You struggle to...
There's nothing like it.
You struggle to beat that, yeah.
I agree.
When you got that on your doorstep.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I agree with that. And haven't you got a fish and chip shop there as well? That's quite popular.
We have. I live really close to the chip shop.
Oh, do you?
You can smell it.
Can you?
It's very hard to resist it. And they deliver now as well, so, I can just get them to bring chips to my house, which is great, but also really bad at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine? Oh my God, that smell wafting through your windows. Oh my goodness. I'm salivating just thinking about it now.
I'm just no, Lewis, eat your vegetables. He's like, but I can smell chips, Mummy. Oh, he's never actually said that, but I'm sure one day.
Yeah. It's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just try and negotiate around this van. This is such a busy spot.
Yeah. I love all these little
alleyways.
Skinny roads though.
Yeah. Little ones. Oh God. Oh, we timed that badly.
or really well.
Or really well. So what's next for you, Rebecca?
Oh gosh.
How do you see the next? Well, that's a big question. How do you see the rest of the year going?
Well, it's funny you say that, because when you're talking about self-care, the big thing for me the rest of this year, is from a business point of view, I'm kind of set now what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I know my product's really well formed.
Yeah. I
know what I need to do to keep that going. So that will sort of just happen.
Yeah.
I think the big thing for me now is I need to really, all of the things that I know I need to do from a self-care point of view.
Yeah.
I've been working up like a little daily routine that I'm like, if I could just do that.
Oh, okay.
Do that routine.
Yeah.
Most days.
Yeah.
Like the whole 80-20 thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I could sort of follow that routine 80% of the time, I think that will be really positive for my mental health. Yeah. Really positive for my well-being, my physical health. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of bringing it together and actually making it happen now. Yeah, that's great. So that is your consistency and routine. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know what it is now. I've done loads of research. I've been listening to stuff and watching things and finding out about, like what good practices look like. Mm-hmm. So I'm at that place where I'm like, this just needs to happen now. Yeah. So I really want to make sure that over this next sort of 5-6 weeks of summer, that I kind of embed that routine, and then hopefully it'll carry on then from September, and then so that's business going well, hopefully. Yeah. Lifestyle going well. My big things at the minute for me. Yeah, that sounds great and sets you up really well for next year. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't it? And again, it's getting Lewis into those habits as well. Yeah. I want him to see me doing this stuff. Yeah. I want him to, having loads of conversations about what's healthy. Yeah. I'm teaching him about when he needs to calm down, like breathing and, do you know what I mean? Things like that. And like I said about eating his vegetables, and when we take the dog for a walk, I don't say, let's take the dog for, well, I do say let's take the dog for a walk, but that's us being healthy. That's us doing our exercise so that we're healthy. Like, that's how I'm saying it to him. So he builds good habits going forward. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's all about like what we're eating. Yeah. I've just I'm trying to get him to wear a sleep mask at the moment. What's that? Well, just like an eye mask. Oh, eye mask. Because it's so light in the mornings. Yeah. So I'm trying to get him doing that so that we sleep better, and I've got him some little amber sunglasses to wear in the evening if we're watching TV. Oh, okay. So he's not getting the blue light. That's really good. Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. Yeah, the whole screen time debate is a big one, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have a huge amount of screen time, but if he does watch TV, it is normally in the evening before he gets to bed, which is not the ideal. No. But this is what I was saying about, like, I'm trying to, like, build these things in, like the amber glasses and, do you know what I mean, all these sorts of things, but then there's so many of them. Yeah. It's just hard to, like, suddenly be like, right, we're going to do all these things. It's all a bit frantic, whereas if I can just slowly start introducing little things into our life that then become a nice habit, and it's just part of our routine then, and it's not like we have to put so much effort in, it's just part of what we do. Yeah, exactly. And it's habit forming, norming. Yeah, and then he'll just grow up hopefully with these good skills of being able to feed himself good nutritious food. Yeah. Importance of exercise and just being healthy and like your movement and stuff. Yeah. And some of the other little things like making sure you're sleeping enough and that kind of thing. Yeah, the sleep one's a big one, isn't it? Because I always excuse me, I find I don't give myself enough time. Yeah. Because I'm overstimulated all the time. Yeah. And then to like switch off, so my average going to bed time is about 11:30. Yeah. Which isn't enough really if I need to wake up at 6 or 6:30. Yeah. So I do find that sometimes I'm running on half a tank. Yeah. But it's the quality, it's not just the hours either, it's the quality of your sleep. I think I'm quite good at getting a decent amount of hours. Yeah. But it's always broken because I'm stressing about things.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of it is he's a very good sleeper usually, but sometimes he will wake me up in the night.
Yeah.
That's broken sleep then, so that's affecting the quality, but I can't do a lot about that.
No.
But again, that's why if I can help him sleep better, because we're not, we're limiting the blue light. I've started doing little gratitude things with him at bedtime.
That's great.
Just asking him, what happened today that, made you really happy, that you're really grateful for. And he'll say something and...
Oh, that's nice.
Just, again, little tiny things like that. But again...
do you do that for yourself as well?
I do, yeah. So, again, it's not all the time. So last night, I didn't have a great night's sleep.
Yeah.
Even though we did, put the glasses on, tried to limit, all the right things you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think there's just things going on in my mind.
Yeah.
So I think that affects...
Yeah, definitely.
When you're just on all the time and you're busy, and your mind is racing a lot of the time, isn't it? And then you try and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Even if you do get, a decent chunk of hours, was it good sleep though? Because I think that's what I struggle with, is the quality of my sleep.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite good at knowing I'm getting really tired, I need to try and get an early night.
Yeah.
But if I'm worrying about stuff, I'm still waking up.
Yeah.
Which is not.
And I think that's something a lot of us need to work on, is that discipline. It's all discipline.
It is all discipline, yeah.
And it goes back to that conversation we were having about knowing when to say no. We have to say no to ourselves.
Yeah, just turn the TV off. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to binge the series today.
No. I'll tell you what I have done though. This has been really good.
Yeah.
I've turned off my notifications for social media and my emails.
Oh, that's good.
So
emails is a really distracting one.
Yeah. So I have to go in and I do still check quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it just means I'll check when I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I've got some time to if there's stuff there I can read it and respond to it.
Yeah.
And I won't in the evening, when I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
I won't check them then. That's just wait till tomorrow.
Good. Yeah, yeah.
But if I'm getting a notification that pops up, you're gonna want to read it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it might be good, but it might be bad. Or it might just be nothing, but it might just set you off thinking, mightn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And so actually, it's better to just check. Be in control of when you're checking.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be an instant reply.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, and that's where the pressure comes from, doesn't it? Because if you've checked, or you've got a notification, you haven't really got time to, even if it's something really good, but it involves you doing something and you haven't really got time, then it's stress then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, oh God, I've got to get back to this person, and I really want to get back to them, but I can't because I don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna commit to that as well with you, to be more disciplined.
Yeah, just turn your notifications off, because again, you can check it as many times as you want. It just means it's not intruding on your day.
Yeah, and kind of just do the whole go upstairs at 9:30.
Yeah,
give yourself a chance.
Get yourself in but this is where I'm trying to build in routines.
Yeah.
So it's, because there's so many, even this little conversation, we've touched on so many little things that you need to do.
Yeah.
It's God, how controlled does your life need to be?
Yeah. Where's the joy?
I know, it's this time you must do this, and this time you must do that, and you must turn that off here. And
live to a timetable.
Yeah, but I think if you can build it in as a little routine that just one thing follows another, and then it doesn't feel like such a big...
It's normalised.
Yeah,
I agree. And I do rebel against myself, because I'm just I'm a grown-up. I can do what I want. But then I'm harming myself for the next day, so I'm not really...
that's the thing.
Yeah. So I was trying to keep... So I was really good this weekend, because I knew I didn't want to fail at the walk yesterday. So I was so careful and disciplined, and went to bed on time. And
fear of failure.
Yeah.
It's a big driver, isn't it?
It is. I just wanted to get to the end.
Yeah. You've made a decision you're going to do it, haven't you? So you can't. I get like that. I can't.
Yeah.
Once I've said I'm doing something, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I'd be really annoyed at myself for not completing it, because I know I can.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't, it would be because of all the things that led up to it.
You blame yourself then, won't you?
Yeah. Always. Yeah, everything starts and stops with ourselves, doesn't it?
Oh God, it does. Yeah, I think my worst thing is sugar. That's
Oh,
the
really?
thing that I really struggle with.
Yeah.
But then that all just feeds into things like if I've not slept well, if I'm tired, I want to eat all the cookies.
Yeah.
And I'm a grown up, so I can't buy all the cookies. And then I just feel crap then all day because it's just that's what sugar does, isn't it?
And it's trying not to be too judgmental about it. Like, don't be judging yourself for it. It's happened, it's done, and actually that moment it was joyful and just exactly what you needed.
Yeah. I want cookies now.
There's just things that I just never let myself buy in the house.
Yeah.
But if I go out, I will deliberately have them.
Yeah. I can't have things like that in the house because they wouldn't be in the house, they'd be in me. They wouldn't.
My friend bought me a packet of biscuits the other day, gluten-free, dairy-free.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I hoovered them in one sitting. Thanks.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would like. Once they're opened.
It didn't even touch the sides.
Yeah, they just get
disappeared, and then I went in for another one. There was nothing left.
But, although just to give yourself a little bit of a break, that is like inbuilt in your biology.
Is it?
Yeah, to want sugar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's energy, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So,
I try and do it through fruit.
That's obviously the better way to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what I buy. But have you seen those memes on Instagram where they kind of say it's about, the good you did the shopping and the bad you now wants that snacks.
That's exactly what I'm like. Yeah. I do good. I've just done an online shop.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you were like a nutritionist, you're looking at, you'd be like, smash that, mate. Well done. 10 out of 10.
But you can't find anything to eat now.
And if that was what actually went in, but just because that's the shopping list, just because that's the stuff that's been delivered, doesn't mean that's the whole story. Because that'll be supplemented, but again, depending on how I'm feeling, and how kind I've been to myself, but how much I'm beating myself up about stuff, and how much sleep I've had, and all the other stuff. If I've done well at all the other things, like if I'm running, that's the trigger for me. Because if I'm running, in my head, I'm an athlete.
Yeah,
I know I'm not. I know I'm not. But in my head, I'll be like, "You've been for a run now, Becky."
Yeah.
So that means you need to hydrate well.
On the pavement.
You need to hydrate well.
Yeah.
Because you're an athlete, and that's what we
do. That's what we do.
And you need to eat your vegetables and eat well because you're an athlete now, and that's what we do. And all those decisions, all those little decisions, they're like more likely to be good decisions. Yeah. But if I'm not running, I'm not an athlete, so we can eat cookies, and we can just all, and it's just a massive vicious. So for me, that's all. It always starts with running because it's the biggest trigger for all the other good stuff. Yeah, isn't that funny? It's all associated and linked in your brain. Yeah. Yeah. So I need to do a run this afternoon. Well, it is a good day for it, to be fair. Yeah, it's a lovely day, isn't it? Yeah. So if there's anything you want to impart before we end our walk, what would it be? I suppose from a personal point of view, like we've talked quite a lot about well-being and stuff, that bracket. I think Wrong and Chatterjee's book, The 4 Pillar Plan. Oh my God, I love that guy. And I suppose that's part of what I'm trying to work into a routine for myself is pick and choose bits from that. Yeah. Coupled with a lot, coupled with us, it's not just based on his book, but everything else that I've learned. Like it's a good start though, isn't it? To get so that guidance and shake up your thinking. Yeah. And I suppose from a business point of view, the biggest thing for me to say to anybody would be it is absolutely just to back yourself. Yeah. Like whatever that looks like for you, find a way to back yourself. Yeah. And there's loads of, I could say, go and get go and do what I did, get a business coach, build a nice community around yourself, get support, like all these different things that you can do. Yeah. But it'll look a bit different for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Like how do you back yourself?
Yeah, and that's a really important point, isn't it? Because there is no one size fits all.
No.
And it has to work around how you are, who you are,
your
how you operate. Yeah.
But you have to, I do think that's the biggest, from what I've seen in myself and lots of other business owners I work with, I think if you can figure out a way to back yourself 80%, again, 80-20, like, it's not always going to be that way. Of course, you're going to doubt yourself sometimes still and all the rest of it, but you can get to a place where you can be like, no, most of the time, I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to make the right call. I'm going to do the right thing that I need to do to progress my business. Yeah. And just trust in yourself. Yeah. I think that's such a big factor in all of it because, I mean, for a lot of business owners, it is very lonely. Even when you're in a bigger organisation, it is very lonely. Yeah. So you do need to be the one that backs yourself. Yeah. Yeah. I think definitely that. Yeah. I think that's the thing that'll make a difference, because if you don't or you can't, you'll be probably part of the group that don't keep going with it. Yeah. But I think if you can find a way to back yourself, I think that's what will make the difference between like a long-lasting, successful business and one that isn't. I mean, it's obviously not the only thing, but
but it's a big factor.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest factor for me anyway.
From your journey.
For my journey, and for the people that I have worked with. Yeah. And the people that are around me as well, so not just clients, but other, like I said, all the women and men, but a lot of my sort of community, I suppose, is women, but men as well. Like the ones that do get behind themselves and back themselves do tend to do better. Yeah. And the ones that struggle with it, they just struggle more. Yeah. Yeah, it's all those things, and that self-belief is the starting point, which is a really hard thing, isn't it? Because it's a daily battle sometimes, and it's not like a true or false question. It's not exactly. Like I can't say answer. No, and I can't say I always back myself 100% because I don't always. Yeah, and some days it's really easy to back myself and I can do it with ease. Yeah, and other days it's like a massive struggle. It's like it'll be the biggest challenge. Yeah, but again, if I can be behind myself 80% of the time, then that's you're pretty much there, aren't you? Yeah, but it does go up and down. It is that roller coaster. Yeah, but again, that's like everything in business, isn't it? Nothing is just a straight. I mean, I've seen so many like little graphics and things on all different social media about the wiggly line. Yeah. It's never just backwards and forwards circles, loops. Yeah, all of that. It's not linear. It's never like that, is it? Yeah. Or, again, I've never seen or met a business that's how things are. So I'm sure there's one magical business out there that's just done that. But there will be, I'm sure. I don't know who they are. It's like those things you see about, stories you hear about ladies who go into labour and they've had their baby in 2 minutes. Yeah. Versus the 94 hours. Yeah. I mean, I did have mine in about 2 hours. Did you? Did you just like sneeze and popped it was out? In true Becky style, I went into labour that morning. It was in the middle of COVID, and I went into labour that morning, and I met my mum to do a dog walk. Yeah. And it was in that time where we could do an outside walk together. Yeah. But she couldn't come in my house. Oh, okay. And I was sort of saying to her, this is like 8 o'clock in the morning or something. I was like, I've got like weird period pains. Oh. She's like, what do you think the baby might be coming? I'm like, no, he's like nearly 4 weeks early. Yeah. Like, it's not the baby. I was adamant it wasn't the baby. Yeah. And essentially I'd just been in labour all day. Oh my God. I didn't go to the hospital until about 5 o'clock. So all right, my in-hospital time. I think I got there about 5 or something. I'd had him by 20 past, like 7:30 or something. Oh, wow. But I'd been in labour all day, but just pretending that I wasn't. And I remember being in the bath. Yeah. And I was just literally having contractions and going, like, and then my sister's like, do you think we should go? And I'm like, no, because it's not due. I was just adamant that because he wasn't due, it wasn't labour. It's not on the plan. Even though, exactly. But it quite clearly was. I was in agony. I was screaming all the way to the hospital. Because I'm just an idiot. But that was because I hadn't hung the curtains in the spare room. Oh, no. Hanging curtains. Yeah. Oh, my God. But so although my technically might have been a couple of hours, but it'd been a lot longer
but
than
isn't that funny? It says a lot about how your mind works as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not on the plan.
It's not on the plan.
It can't be now, because it's
due. I don't think it was on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I should have been at work on the Monday.
Yeah.
I wasn't at work on the Friday because I had an annual leave day.
Okay.
But I would have been at work on the Friday. And I remember being in hospital thinking, oh God, I've got work on Monday. What am I going to do?
Oh God,
and I was stressing about texting my boss to be like, by the way.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't put this message to us, and I really don't think I'm going to come in on Monday. I know he's early and all the rest of it, but I've had my baby.
Yeah.
Ridiculous message, and he just wrote back like, it's okay, you can start your maternity leave now, like, it's fine, like, what are you?
We don't expect you in.
Yeah, like, it's okay.
Oh, how funny.
But I suppose, because in my head, he wasn't due.
Yeah.
And I was in work on Monday.
Yeah.
And this has happened, and now I can't come in, and it was all a bit...
I haven't tied up my loose ends, I haven't put my out of office.
I haven't handed off. I don't think I've even done I've done some of the handover to the person that was going to be doing my job while I was away.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd even done the full handover yet.
The things we worry about.
I know, and literally, I was so worried about. Stupid.
Perspective.
Yeah. From their point of view, they're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You've had your baby. You can just go on maternity leave now.
Just enjoy him.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
I know, bless him.
Oh, well, thanks for your time, Rebecca. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh, I've enjoyed talking to you as well. It's been lovely.
Despite the chaos of the cars and the holidays. And I don't think I've passed that many noisy vehicles for a long time. It's all happened today. And the guy with the delivery truck that was banging his doors.
I know.
Oh my goodness. But still, stunning day.
It's been a lovely day.
Yeah, really stunning. Cool. Well, have a lovely day.
You too.
And we'll talk soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon.
So that brings us to the end of another episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed my walk with Rebecca, founder of Box Solution. From discussing the joys and challenges of being a working mum with a 4-year-old to helping businesses define their long-term strategies, we covered so much ground today. Rebecca shared what it felt like to step out on her own without the safety blanket of a large corporation, and how she's making sole traders feel less alone in their journey. We explored the value of inclusivity, ensuring that every voice within a business is heard, along with the incredible benefits of having a coach by your side. Rebecca also offered some honest reflections on the importance of self-care, the excuses we make to avoid exercise, and how we can all channel a little J-Lo energy into our daily lives. Parenting, business building, self-discipline, and finding balance were the key themes today, with a reminder to always back yourself. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining me today and for sharing all the information about your wonderful business and everything else in between. Thank you all for listening with Rebecca and myself. If you enjoyed this episode, please share your thoughts on social media, tell your friends about the podcast, and make sure you come back for the next one. Until then, keep exploring and keep backing yourself. See you soon.